News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Connor James. Deputies are investigating a deadly shooting here in Perry County, and a homicide is not ruled out. WYMT's Taylor Upchurch is at the scene with more.
The Perry County Coroner's Office tells us they were called out to Four Seam Branch Road just off of Kentucky 15 South earlier this evening for a death investigation. The call came in around 4:20 on Wednesday. Officials say a man was found shot to death near the Glow Mart in Hazard. Officials cannot yet tell us how many shots were fired.
We can say it was multiple, but we will be sending him in the morning to the Kentucky State Medical Examiner's office, and the Perry County Sheriff's Office, along with the Coroner's Office, will be sitting in during the autopsy.
As of right now, officials say the shots do not appear to be self-inflicted.
We will treat this as a homicide until the medical examiner can help us determine that.
The road is back open to drivers, but the man's identity has yet to be released. We will continue to update you on more information on WYMT.com. For now, in Perry County, Taylor Upchurch, WYMT Mountain News.
The coroner's office says the victim's family will be notified before his identity is released.
And it was a beautiful day here in the mountains. Bad news is as we head into the overnight hours and into your Thursday, sadly we'll see that sunshine start to go away. You'll notice here on satellite and radar where we saw those mostly sunny skies for today. You'll also notice those clouds starting to increase out to our west, and that'll continue as we head into the overnight hours. You'll also notice those temperatures starting to shift from the north into the northwest, and that's going to bring in a little bit of cooler air as we head into the overnight hours. Temperatures, though, they're comfortable for now into those upper 50s, but notice spots back into Lexington, Louisville already into those mid to upper 40s, so we'll see those temperatures drop pretty quickly throughout the overnight hours. Overnight we'll see those temperatures into the upper 30s to lower 40s with clouds continuing to increase, and then as we head into your Thursday, we're going to see those scattered rain chances return once again. Also the possibility for a wintry mix this weekend along with cooler temperatures as we begin next week. I'll have those details and more coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Paige. A sad story. A toddler's flu diagnosis takes a turn for the worse. Now Leslie County is praying for her recovery. Sandy Adams, a family friend, says 3 days have gone by and Kailyn has yet to wake up. She's only 20 months old. Her parents send updates home when they can while doctors continue to look for answers. Adams set up a station at her store, S&D Stop and Go, where people are welcome to write her letters.
She's had a rough road. She's a tough baby. She has endured a lot. The family has endured a lot.
The candlelight vigil for Kailyn was held earlier this evening at the S&D Stop and Go in Wootton. People wishing to send inspiration and donations can stop by and drop them off. The American Red Cross, well, they need your help. Recent flooding has triggered the need for volunteers. AEP donated a $150,000 emergency response vehicle to help Red Cross responders reach rural areas. Floodwaters sent Charlene Qualls and her husband Michael to Johnson County. Both have been volunteering for 4 years. She says the work is very rewarding.
And that gives you a feeling that you're helping them. And that's the reason why that I volunteer for the Red Cross.
Red Cross volunteers replace smoke detectors, make damage reports, and bring cleaning supplies to disaster victims. If you would like to volunteer for the American Red Cross, you can call Volunteer Services at 606-331-6672. And almost every year, it's a big problem that literally creates quite a mess. Heavy rains, like the ones we recently had, flood Fishtrap Lake in Pike County. Officials can open the dam there and let the water out, but the trash that gets caught up, now that's a different story. But some recent funding could help that out. I went to the lake to learn more. As floodwaters recede,
it's sad. I mean, it really is.
In their wake,
yeah, it's actually really sad.
This mess of junk scattered all throughout the park. People like Rick Klauser come out to enjoy the lake.
Yeah, when it's nice out, yeah.
But fishing's not that easy.
I try to stay out of there, you know. You're going to get hung up anyways.
When you have anything and everything floating around.
Shoes and basketballs and just random stuff that people would use every day.
Wiffle balls, footballs, tennis balls, dog toys, human toys, and a whole lot of plastic.
We've seen thousands and thousands of bottles.
It's an issue for people wanting to enjoy the lake.
It's every year, it's a cleanup.
But also people working there.
It's a maintenance issue for us every year.
But hopefully this year that will all change thanks to some extra funding.
So this year we hope to be able to utilize almost $450,000 to help clean up this lake. That's 4 times what we normally spend.
About $126,000 of that made official as of Wednesday, thanks to a joint effort with the county.
And they'll be coming up and augmenting what we do, actually just doing the same thing that we do and getting the drift and debris off the lake.
So maybe people who come out to enjoy it,
Oh yeah, I hope so,
won't have to deal with so much trash. The additional funding will also help give the park better resources to hopefully find a long-term solution. Every year, officials hope to have the 395 square mile lake cleaned up by Memorial Day weekend. And a road in Letcher County is falling, and those who use it to get in and out will be stranded if it gives way. Highway 803 leads to the Millstone community near Neon and started falling nearly 2 weeks ago. Some drivers are avoiding it, others are just driving over it. People who rely in this road to get in and out worry for the safety of their school kids who drive over it every day.
We're just afraid that the kids is going to actually be the ones to reap the repercussion from it because it's going to fall. And when it does, I just hope and pray that a school bus is not on it.
State highway crews have assessed the road and have it on the list to fix. Now it's just a matter of dry weather to get it tended to. And a Chattanooga fallen officer's funeral procession went through Kentucky this afternoon. Chattanooga police officer Nicholas Gallinger was killed on Saturday while on duty in a DUI hit and run. His funeral procession started in Chattanooga around 9 this morning and traveled through Cincinnati, Ohio. That's his hometown. Police and first responders paid their respects along I-75 as he returned home.
It's not too often that we have a fallen officer that you know they're transporting up the interstate. So it's a privilege for us to be out here to pay our respects.
Gallinger's funeral will be held on Friday at 11 a.m. in Cincinnati, Ohio at T.P. White Funeral Home. For more than a year, we've been bringing you coverage of Kentucky's hepatitis A outbreak. Today, we're taking a deeper look at a different disease, hepatitis C. Hepatitis A cannot be transmitted through blood, and its symptoms show up quickly. Hepatitis C is an infection spread by dirty needles. It gets in your blood and infects the liver. Hepatitis C patients won't see symptoms for years. Tonight, Miranda Combs tells us how UK's emergency room is able to find the infection before it hits.
Propped at the end of a hospital bed is Dr. Daniel Moore's baby. He's been caring for these charts and graphs since July.
But we haven't objectively seen it come back down in any capacity.
Dr. Moore is referring to the number of patients with opioid-related problems who come through the UK ER doors.
I disagree with people who say that we're at the peaks. Opioid-related visits in the last 3 years have gone up 2,000%.
So, if those numbers are still drastically rising, just like a tidal wave, think of the mess it's going to leave behind.
Injection drug use and hepatitis C were closely related to one another, and that this young second wave of people with hepatitis C are primarily from those doing injection drugs.
Hepatitis C is a chronic infection that may not show symptoms in the body for years, but it leads to cirrhosis and infects your liver. Right now, there are about 3.5 million people infected with Hep C in the U.S. Most don't know they have it.
What we do in the emergency department, we are doing something called non-targeted screening of all of our emergency department patients that walk through the door.
Why?
Because of the opioid epidemic. We have known from other literature that a large proportion of our patients are infected with hepatitis C and don't know it. And what we have been doing is testing everyone who walks through the door unless they opt out.
And the results?
Overall, 11% of all the patients that come through our emergency department are positive for having been infected with hepatitis C.
The percentage was worse for patients in their 20s and 30s. 20% for non-baby boomers tested positive for having antibodies ready to fight Hep C.
This disease that we know is going to cost billions of dollars of healthcare costs downstream if it remains untreated.
Dr. Moore says the treatment for Hep C is now very tolerable for patients, and most of those who get the treatment are cured. But you want to hear the sad part?
Of all these patients we've identified, only 1 in 4 we've been able to get into an appointment so far.
This testing is being done through a grant. Dr. Moore says even if they can't get a grant again, they'll find more money to keep testing, because the more that know, the less the stigma.
The prevalence is huge. We have a cure, but trying to get the cure to the people that have the disease is a huge challenge.
Miranda Combs, WYMT Mountain News.
Coming up at 11, a contentious hearing on Capitol Hill as President Trump's former fixer testifies against the president.
And rain chances return as we head into your Thursday. We'll break down that full forecast in just a few minutes.